Todd, this guy. He can't hear you, man. I can't hear you. Oh, man, I can't hear you. Can't hear you. Oh, man, where's the sound at, man?
No.
I'm in Arizona.
Lord, I tell you.
I can't hear you.
Stay.
Somebody ain't paid the bill.
Good morning.
Man, what's wrong with the sound, man? Hey, can you hear me? Oh, yeah. Good morning, good morning. I don't know if y'all can hear me out there, but this is Loving Stuff, basketball with Kamau and Felix, sports talk with Kamau and Felix. We having a few little technical difficulties. Somebody didn't pay the bill again. So now here he is. I guess the check went through, or he sent the promise to pay. I don't know.
Can you hear me now?
Absolutely. All day, every day, twice on Sunday.
All right. I paid that bills. Them gremlins be funny sometimes. Them gremlins.
Yeah, I know. That's what I tell. Insufficient funds. Right. I know.
Good morning. How's everything today, sir?
Man, I'm ready. How you doing over there? I told you I'm in Arizona. Ready.
Arizona. All right. My Spartans day not doing too bad. We got some picked up a few awards, and basketball season is going pretty good. So we gonna get into all that good fun stuff. We first of all, we want to make a quick recap of the last show. Two things happened that we didn't think was going to happen. The Lions won a game, and Harbaugh beat Ohio State. And so we're going to have to congratulate both those entities for that happening. I had a little bit of faith actually in both of them. I didn't think that Harbaugh was going to win this year. I had a feeling the Lions were going to win at least one game this year. Congratulations to both of them. And hey, when it happens, you got to give them props. You got to give them their kudos. Got to say congratulations to them because they've done a fine job of beating Ohio State and then going down to Iowa. We're going down to Indianapolis and beat Iowa there and beat them like they stole something.
Right.
That was 42-3. I did not see that one coming. Iowa normally plays much tougher than that.
Play nobody.
Iowa, you're right. They didn't play nobody, but they normally still are a tougher team than that.
They played De La Salle.
Much more. They played De La Salle. They played De La Salle. They would have played a tough team.
That's what you're supposed to do. I mean, like I said, after I said I wasn't impressed. I told all the Michigan fans I wasn't impressed. You played the farmer's daughter's college. I wasn't impressed. Okay, this is the thing. This is the thing. Before the game, me and you talked about it on that show. You didn't hear nothing from no fan base of Michigan. No, they gonna win, nothing. Then when it's 5 seconds left, I started hearing it's great to be a Michigan Wolverine. Where was that 3 hours ago? Look, Michael Jordan. Look, man, Michael Jordan said it best. It's you can always talk junk when you up 4 with 2 seconds left. But when that score zip, that's when it's let's get it. I mean, okay, your coach's record is 1-10. That's apparent to John Cooper when he was at Ohio State, which was 2-10. I'm not impressed. Go down to Columbus next year and beat them. That ain't gonna happen.
I agree with that.
Right, that ain't gonna do. It's called consistency. That's the word for the day. Consistency. And I'm good.
I agree. But for this year, give them their props. They did what they're supposed to do.
Give them props for that. You won in. Of course, if you fight Drago 20 times, you assume to beat him once.
So you think that had what's his name fought him 20 times, he would have died 19?
Yeah, Apollo would have died 19, right?
Apollo died 19 times.
He would have died 19 times. But the good thing about that, I don't have to hear Jim Brandstatter and what's the name no more. That's the good thing about that whole thing. Because them two, I don't know if they was worse than Bob Greasy and Keith Jackson. Rest in peace. I like Keith Jackson. I just didn't like Bob Greasy. It was like, man, all he did was talk about brain. Well, you know, he brought me his report card this day. And then like, what did he get? He got 3 A's and a B. What classes did he take? Sandwich making 212? How to sign an NFL contract 130? Man, get out of here, man.
Well, you're supposed to talk about your kid. But I can tell you, we're
Not
gonna
like
get to
that.
somebody else talk. We're gonna talk about somebody else talking about Michigan people, getting them hyped up as a little bit later on when we start talking about the Heisman. We're gonna talk about how Aiden Hutchinson was talked into a Heisman position where he may not have deserved it, but we're gonna get there when we get down to the Super Sports News. We got the college football playoff edition, bowl edition starting. First of all, stop. We need to stop right there. Good morning, Mr. Marcus Holmes there in the background. Click like, click share, and make sure that you go out and it's Christmas time and get what? Get this book, Gratefulness Journey Every Day, written by this young man right there, with the Michigan shirt on for Denise. Denise propped him up, and you can't be wrong with that. Make sure you go to Amazon.
In 2022, you need to change that shirt.
We're going to have to cost a little bit of money to go reprint this. But
you take a green marker and put the green over it, and then just give me the book. I'll show you how to do it.
We're gonna put a patch on it like you got a hole in your knee.
Nah, just give me the book. I'll show you how to do it. I'll show you how
Make sure you go to Amazon. Make sure you go to Amazon, order this book. Get it. You'll have it in a couple of days. It's a great stocking stuffer. And just make sure you be grateful on everything that we do. Click like, click share. Thank you guys for showing up. Get on the phone, call them up. Kamau and Felix is on his internets again, talking this crazy sports. And we got something to say about it. We want to thank Joy Pascal and Drewski Love for coming in this morning and giving their thoughts and coming to see about us. And we are discussing college football. We're looking at the playoff edition and all the bowl games edition. The first one is the Cure Bowl down in Orlando, Northern Illinois, and Coastal Carolina. I do kind of want to watch that game because Coastal Carolina, they got some different looking uniforms. It's like that funny looking green and white. It's like an aqua green and black and white, pretty cool colors together. And Northern Illinois, the Huskies, they always play tough. They play tough in football and basketball.
Is that a football game or a basketball game?
That's a football game. This is the Cure Bowl. I don't know what they're trying to cure. I was trying to figure it out. That's the very first bowl game of the year.
Our curing won't be watching that one. Next.
Is it Orlando? In Orlando, it seems like that stadium in Orlando have about 3 or 4 bowl games every year down there. It's the Cure Bowl, it's the Citrus Bowl. There's normally another game that they play in that stadium within about 3 weeks. And I've been down to that stadium. It's a pretty cool stadium, nice stadium. But it's a good place because everybody want to go somewhere where it's warm.
Yeah, but not to go see them two teams.
I would actually, I wouldn't say pay. Somebody give me a ticket, I would definitely go to that game.
But if you wouldn't pay?
No, because it's not like a top tier bowl game. I would definitely pay for this game, which I'm looking for tickets for, Michigan State versus Pittsburgh in the Peach Bowl. I'm definitely looking to go to that game. If I can get some tickets to that game, I will be there. It's going to be in Georgia.
I think they got robbed.
Which team? State or Pittsburgh?
I think State got robbed.
You think they should have had a higher bowl game?
If I was Mel Tucker, for real, but I'm not Mel Tucker, I would decline the invite. I do like Lou Holtz used to do. If I'm not playing in a top tier bowl, I'm not playing. I wouldn't even play. I tell everybody go home for Christmas. I'm not playing in that, man.
Here's why you play. It's still a New Year's 6 bowl game. It may not be on New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. It's on the 30th. It's a New Year's 6 game. So the payout is a large payout. So you go to that game and you get your recruits to come down there and you do your best. And this is an intrigue game. You're playing against your former defensive coordinator that was there when the last time you went to the playoffs and the last time you won the Big Ten championship in Narduzzi. So some of those seniors
that was when What's the name was at the helm? That don't have nothing to do with Mel Tucker.
I know. I'm talking about the intrigue. Former versus the current. Some of the seniors know the coach. And you got the quarterback who, here's more intrigue, who is up for the Heisman going to be at that game, as opposed to your running back who
As
just
if he
won.
played. He
He's
might
not
opt
playing.
out. Come on.
He'll play. He'll play. He'll
He
play.
might
See,
opt out. I wouldn't
to me,
I'm just saying me. And me
in
personally,
my
I
opinion,
wouldn't have accepted it.
in
I'm
my
not
opinion, if
playing
I'm
on
a
New Year's Day.
quarterback,
I'm not playing.
I understand, but the bowl system was set up now to the point where all the games, even though they're big games, may not necessarily be on New Year's Day or New Year's Eve, because the excuse me, the playoff games aren't on New Year's Day; they're on New Year's Eve.
But look who's on the menu for the playoff games. That's my point.
Alabama, Cincinnati,
Man,
Michigan,
that shit.
Georgia.
You know what? Who they play? Who they play? Alabama. Okay, see
Alabama,
now we bring
Cincinnati,
right. See now we
Michigan,
bringing
Georgia.
it to the tag. But yeah, I get what
That's
you're saying.
what
Right?
we're leading into.
Right, I get what you're saying. Okay.
We're leading into the big games. Alabama, Cincinnati, and people are saying that Alabama might get upset.
To
They're playing
who?
against Cincinnati's playing. I don't think my personal opinion. I think it'll be a close game. I think Alabama probably win it by about 14 in the fourth quarter, stretch it out at the end. But I see it being a tough game against Cincinnati. There are a lot of the pundits are saying you got a team that have 32 seniors on it with a lot of pride and played together for 4 years, and they think that they're going to give Alabama a good game. I agree that it's going to be a decent game for 3 quarters or 2.5 quarters, but not for 4 quarters. I think that Alabama, the way Alabama jumped on Georgia lets me know that that's the Alabama team that we had a little bit of doubt about. We shouldn't have that doubt going into this game.
Alabama is about to repeat as national champions. I told you
Okay.
when we first started college football, I said, what did I tell you? It has to be some intrigue, because if they just would have rolled through, people would have been like, there's no fun in that. So you
Right.
gotta throw some intrigue with it. Okay, they lost to Texas A&M. That was the wake-up call. That was part of their intriguement. Everybody jumped on Texas A&M. Oh, can Texas A&M be for real? No, they had to lose to somebody to make it interesting. The next almost loss was Auburn. They beat Auburn. They lost. They ended up losing to Auburn. I mean, they ended up beating.
Come on, keep talking. I know you still there. I know you still there.
And then that's what happened. But no, you not go. Nobody's going to beat them, man. Yeah, I'm not going to beat them. It's going to be Alabama and Georgia for the national championship again, because both of them two universities travel with.
So you think Georgia's going to beat Michigan? So you're saying that down in Miami, Georgia's going to beat Michigan?
Georgia about to show. You about to see for real, for real. You about to see for real. Because the SEC, there's a reason they're the number one conference out there. They powerful. They fast. They own the ball. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to say Georgia is Alabama because they're not. But they got defense, and they get to the ball. Their offense is kind of suspect. Okay, but that was against Alabama. Michigan, oh, you can't go down there and win. They too fast. It's a thing with football speed and speed. They have both. When you only got one, then you kind of can. They got both. They football fast and they fast. No, they about to see something they ain't never seen. We don't have in the Big Ten. The most closely to that is Ohio State, which is another thing. When we get further in the segment, I'll bring that up too. But no, you gotta they fast and they get football fast. Michigan don't have no who fast on Michigan. Blake Corum. Come on, man. I mean, who fast on Michigan? The quarterback? The guy who up for the hang? No. And then Kirby Smart is who did Kirby Smart learn from? Uncle Nick. He gonna out-coach you. The difference between Harbaugh and Kirby Smart, Harbaugh just has the X's. Kirby Smart knows the X's and the O's, and he knows how to make in-game adjustments. Harbaugh don't. It's easy when you up and you coast them with a lead. when you behind and you gotta hold them and you gotta score. No. Okay, I'll put it to you like this. Let them jump down 14-0 to Georgia. It's over. It's over before it even starts. It's over. Just go and put on Smokey and the Bandit or something, because it's over. Real.
Smokey and the Bandit.
Man, go play Smokey and
We're
Burt
gonna table that. We're gonna table that. We're gonna do our predictions on on our Christmas edition when we come back in 2 weeks. And what we do, we're gonna spend a lot of time on college basketball and college football and NBA basketball, and we're gonna do our predictions on that. We need to move forward just a little bit. First thing we're gonna do is say hello to Lee Meadows, and thank you for joining us today. Click like, click share, and let folks know that you are coming in to see Kamau and Felix with Sports Talk. And this is our holiday Christmas edition. We are in between Thanksgiving and Christmas. Our next show will be on Christmas. And we have Valerie Colbert Asamuda coming to join us. And Carmen Adams, thank you for joining us this morning.
We're doing a show on Christmas?
Our show is on Christmas, man.
Okay, I'll be with the Trumps. Y'all don't mind me going live with Donald and them, do you?
Tell Donald to come on. Tell Donald to come on.
Hey man, I'm just saying I don't want to get fired. I don't want to get fired, and then next year I get replaced by his son or somebody because they like. I'm just saying I'm gonna be live with them over there.
You on the clock that day?
All I'm saying is I don't want to get Facebook hated mail or something because I did the show live with them. I'm just saying I'm gonna do my part and get out the house. What was the movie name? Get Out. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do the show and get out.
But you got to work on Christmas. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that. We'll work it out. Let's move on into NBA. We're looking at Eastern Conference Final. We got a little bit of movement. We got the Nets, Bulls, Bucks, Heat, Wizards, and Cavaliers. Top six. The Heat has moved up. No, the Bucks have moved up a little bit. The Cavaliers have moved back. And the NBA is starting to look like they're having fun out there. And normally you don't see this too much until you get later in the year. The games are way more competitive earlier in the year than in my opinion, than what I've seen in many years. You normally don't see the competition pick up until at least after Christmas. They're out there hustling every night. And let's talk about the Western Conference. We got the Warriors, Suns, both with the same record. They both split their games so far this year. Jazz, Grizzlies, Clippers, and the Lakers. And Lakers are our question of the day is, will the Lakers rebound? They're 13-13 as of last night. I didn't get the scores. I don't know if they played last night, but when I did the copy for the show, the Lakers were 13-13 and in sixth place in the West. Are they going to continue to rebound and have a good spot? Because right now the Warriors and the Suns look like they're the cream of the crop in the league. You got the floor general and Phoenix doing this thing, and I have to so far right now I have to take a bite of crow because I didn't think that Phoenix was going to be nowhere near where they are now. The Warriors, I'm still surprised that they're doing what they're doing. I'm not gonna lie about that. Steph has been Superman, put them on his back, and he hit threes from literally all over the court. Almost from the time they take the ball out of bounds, no one's able to stop him. And the Nets, they're kind of sending hints. It seems like that they're going to bring back Kyrie. For some reason, they keep putting little Kyrie stuff out in the universe on their Twitter page. So they kind of put it out there. Kyrie might be back. They're saying it without saying it. The Bulls are playing the way they should, honestly, because they have the players there finally for the first time in a while. So let's look at the East Conference first. Let's see here. Of that group, the team that surprised me the most are the Cavaliers in sixth place. I didn't think that they had any kind of of course they got a little team. I'm talking about in terms of being able to be where they are. I thought they would be in the 7, 8, 9 spot, looking at possibly playing in the play-in game. But that's why I'm saying I'm surprised at the competitiveness so far in this early part of the year. What's your thoughts, sir? I see that face. What's your thoughts?
Are you surprised at the team from Detroit?
No. That's our next question.
So where they are, you're not shocked at where they are.
4-20 on 5 in the last 5. 0-10 in the last 10. But I
So
can say that they have had some close losses. So their last 5 losses have been by less than 7, 8 points. Is that an improvement?
no, no, because it's still a loss. If
Still a
if
loss.
you fail the 10th grade and you go back to the 10th grade, what is that? You didn't graduate, right? You didn't pass, right? Okay. So you're 4-20, and we're about to enter into the new year. So 9 times out of 10, they're going to go into 2022 way under 500. What's the problem? Let me tell you what the problem is. The problem is you wasted a pick. That's what you did. You should have traded the pick because it's not working out.
So in other words, you're saying that we should have either picked the other guy at number 1 or traded that number 1
You
pick
should have traded the pick. It's
and not
like
picked up motorcade.
it's like this. It's like people who say they on a diet and they say they're working out, but we don't believe you because it's not working out. Because we're looking at you and it's not working out. It's not working out. Same thing. It didn't work out. You should have traded
I'm
the
on
pick.
this keto. I'm eating this keto. But
Like I told you.
This fried chicken show is good.
Right. You want me to believe that you want me to believe you got big from eating salads and drinking Diet Cokes? Come on, man. Stop. What I'm saying is you should have traded the pick and got multiple picks. You should have traded the pick because it's not working out. Why? Because the system isn't working out. Why? Because the head coach isn't working out. Why did you even sign him to an extension? Of course, and I get it. I get it. I'm not a basketball man. I'm not my man behind the door. I get it. At the end of the day, he took a Toronto team that nobody thought would win a championship. Look at the players you had, though. You had Van Fleet. You had Kyle Larder. You had Sakim, what's his name? Pascal Sakim. Diakim. Okay. And then you had one of the best defenders in the game, Kawhi Leonard. You have no roster.
He left before Kawhi.
You have no roster like that in Detroit. So that's why I say you should have traded the pick. I kind of wish Joe Dumars was still here because Joe D would have traded the pick and everybody would have booed him, but he would have said, watch what I'm about to do with this pick. But I get it. We have to give my man time, just like we got to give my man time with the Lions. But right now, it's to win right now because you got rid of everything for this one person, and it's not working out. So let me tell you, and to fast forward it, don't be surprised Ben Simmons be here in Detroit. Because now it's going to come to, now we're desperate. We need to fill the seats down at LCA. So let's sign Ben Simmons, which is going to create more of a problem. So now we back to square one. Don't be surprised.
Ooh, I wouldn't touch Ben Simmons with a 10-foot pole. With as much talent as he has, he's proven that he is willing to wreck your entire program just because he is in his feelings. So if they do that,
we don't know if that might change. He might come here. Okay, look at it this way. They're 4-20. Let's just say they signed Ben Simmons right now. He can't do no worse. They're 4-20.
But who are you going to give up to get him? And what are you going to? And that changed the long term.
You're gonna probably give up. You're gonna probably give up Grant. You're probably gonna give up a couple of picks and some cash or whatever. If that's what you have to do to fill the seats.
So you're putting Ben Simmons and Cade together. What you're saying?
No, you'll probably move Cade to the 2 and leave Ben at the 1.
Okay, so he's staying with the team is what I'm saying. So Cade,
no, yeah.
What I'm saying.
I mean, that would be dumb to trade the number 1. That would be dumb to get rid of your number 1 pick. But look who we're talking about. I have seen dumber things.
I've seen dumber things, yes.
I have seen dumber things.
Okay, so I'm actually more in favor of it if we're keeping Cade in the fold. I can see that, but I still would be very leery about doing that because it just he can wake up tomorrow and say, "Ooh, I got a mosquito bite and on my way to practice, and I don't want to play today." So
that's just like the guy out here running through the sprinkler for a shower. No, I'm playing. I'm playing.
If that's the case, I'm gonna hand him a bar of soap.
No, I'm playing. That's in Arizona. That's what they do. No, I'm playing.
All right.
I'm just saying, I have seen stranger things. Me personally, sometimes a fresh start ain't a bad thing. Because, I mean, he can't do no worse. If he can't, think about it.
But will he agree to
real talk? look at if he came here, Kamau, and they put him at the point and they put Cade at the 2, or they say we're gonna leave it like it is. We're gonna put Ben at the 2 and put Cade at the 2, and he still comes and he plays like the Ben Simmons that was in Philadelphia. People will be like, you can't get mad at him because that's what he did in Philly. You the only person you can get mad at
I'll
is the
take
front.
that Ben Simmons. I'll take that Ben Simmons. No jump shot or not. I'll take that Ben Simmons right here in Detroit.
Oh, you take that
right
Ben
now.
Simmons.
Oh yes, of course. Because
so you take that Ben Simmons and give up Jeremy Grant and a couple of picks.
Here's why. He is when he's in his mind on his right game. He is defensive minded. He'll stop your best player on the other team, and he is for the team. And he goes out and does it quietly. And that to me, that's the kind of player I like. I like a player that's going to go out and go give his best. Nobody's going to have the greatest game ever. And to me, like we talked about before, at the end of the season, this is your program. You are in this gym every day. You are shooting 1,000 jumpers before lunch and 1,000 jumpers after lunch. And for lunch, you're shooting 1,000 free throws. And that's going to be what you're going to, you have to mandate that stuff. Of course, they don't want to they try not to make them do stuff like that. But that's where senior leadership comes in as well. He would have to be the senior leader at this point, with him being, having been in the league so long. You would hope that he would say, "Hey, come on, troops, let's rally our troops together and let's work hard in the off season." But at the same time, what he did this last off season, maybe it's just because he was mad. Maybe because he was mad at the team, he went off, and played Instagram model and Facebook model with his girlfriend. So hopefully, if he can. No, I'm serious.
Had to bring the girlfriend.
Think about it. At that age, that's where you at until you really come to you. Hey, I need to go ahead and make this. I know I'm making this money. Let me go ahead and make this championship now, because he got everything he needs right now. It's not like there's no deficit for him. He's playing well. He's a top 10 player in the league. He made it to the All-Star game. His teammate went to the Eastern Conference Finals. He's right where he needs to be in terms of progression. So what's going to get him over the hump? Defensive player. Offense. He can get to the hole with no problem. He can get to the hole almost as good as Kyrie can. So what he working on? He work up shot.
Right, you got to finish too, though.
Yeah, of course. That's a part of the progression as well. So in my mind, who's going to go? Who's the first person that's going to talk to him if he comes to Detroit? You already know what I'm going to say. Isaiah.
Ooh.
Isaiah.
No.
Isaiah's always been that consultant in the background. He's always been that consultant in the background. Yeah, and Joe D, even though Joe D out in California, it's always conversations to be made. As an alumni, alumni of the team. Hey, all young fella, let me talk to you. You a Piston now. These are, we you can take us back to where we were before. And so we need you to do this. Hopefully he'll listen. We moving way too far into the segment. We can move just a little bit further. We can talk about NFL. Remember, go out and get the book, stock and stuff. Go to Amazon, get this. Make sure that you get it on Prime. Have it in a couple of days. We want to get Mr. Marcus home, Mr. Handsome right here. Look at that guy, handsome devil that he is. We want to support this young man and that he's doing what he's doing in terms of scholarships for children. Get on the phone, click like, click share, tell people to come and check us out. We are moving into our NFL phase of the day. And first thing on the agenda, of course, is the Lions won. The Lions won. Can you believe somebody went out and made a Super Bowl song said the Lions won that first game? Did you hear that song?
Nah, I didn't even hear that one. I didn't
It's
hear
a
that. Somebody made a song.
Yeah, they made a rap. A rapper made a song. It was out not even within an hour after the Lions won. It was on the internet. I heard that thing. I laughed so hard because they won one song. It sounded like T Grizzly, but I don't think it was T Grizzly. But that's that Detroit rap style that they have out now. He had that kind of rap style, singing that song, rapping that song, I should say. It was a pretty good song, but once the one I ain't gonna lie, I almost went home and cracked open my crown, my Lions crown. I got a little Crown Royal bag box, pint with the Lions, the collectible, the memorabilia one with the bag in and everything. I almost cracked it open. I'm like, nah, it's just one game. I'm not going to be tripping like that.
I'd be happy. I'd be happy if they get 3 more. Then my prediction will be right. I said 4-13. So I'm hoping they get
They
3.
really should be. They should be 3 or 4 right now, honestly. They should have 3 or 4 wins right now. They should have beat Cleveland. They should have beat Pittsburgh and the Ravens. And it was another game before that. So they should have about 4 wins, honestly. But
They
that's what
should.
happened.
Right now they should be right. Right now they should be 4-13.
They should be.
If you
Right
count
now.
them games, right, they would have swept Minnesota twice. I mean, they would have beat Minnesota twice.
They should beat Minnesota the first time as well. Yep.
Right.
But can they win this weekend? Can they go to Denver and beat Denver?
Not in the cold. No.
Not
They would have had Denver here, maybe, but not in the cold. Nah.
Well,
Too cold.
They went to Cleveland and they went to Pittsburgh, and what games they should have won. So in the cold as well out there. Temperatures comparable.
Is Denver colder than Cleveland?
The difference, the cold is the cold. The difference between Denver is that elevation. You gotta
wait. What did you say?
The cold
is cold.
Whether you playing in Cleveland, whether you playing in Baltimore, whether you playing in Pittsburgh, whether you playing where they used to be playing Tiger Stadium back in the day, whether you in Denver. The difference that the difference that Denver has is what's the word I'm trying? The leg up that Denver has on everybody
the altitude.
Is the altitude, because they're so much higher. The elevation is so much higher, and that's why they had to make that rule, because teams would literally fly in the night before the game, so they wouldn't have to be affected for they make them come in earlier now. So
they call Pittsburgh the cold. What they call it? The steel curtain. That was the steel curtain defense, but it was cold in Pittsburgh. Correct.
Mm-hmm.
They call Green Bay the frozen tundra.
Right.
So you telling me Pittsburgh is just as cold as Green Bay?
Green Bay is colder than Pittsburgh.
That's what I just said. So
you said Cleveland colder than Pittsburgh, but I still say,
so
as a former football player playing in the cold, it's colder.
First you said it's cold as the cold.
The cold is cold.
Then you just said Green Bay is colder than Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it is true. That's true.
So Denver would be colder than
No. The elevation. That's the difference. But here's
not cold in Denver.
They gonna get that Vaseline out and put it all over their body in places they don't want to put it, no matter what, in all those cold places. These games are Sunday.
What?
You believe it? I've done it. In my football career in high school, we played some cold games, and towards the end of the season, you get this thing called Vaseline, and you put it in your cracks and crevices to keep you from being cold. I'm serious, man.
No, I'm not saying. Okay, look, I can't compare your football career to my football career because it's no comparison. Okay, hands down. When I played, the coaches told us to put on pantyhose. That's what kept you warm. Your legs up under your football pants. We wore pantyhose, right? Don't quit. Hey, I don't question genetics. Look, he was the coach. I figured he knew what he was talking about. I'm the player. He told us we wear pantyhose that keep you warm. Joe Namath warm, so maybe he knows what he's talking about. I have no idea. What I'm saying is the weather does play a factor.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to understand is how you gonna say Pittsburgh isn't colder than Green Bay, but Denver is because of the altitude. No, it's because of the cold. The altitude plays a part, but the weather plays more of a part than the altitude.
Advantage over all the rest of the teams because they practice and play in that altitude from day one. Those teams go in there, and why do you think they always have all that oxygen on the sideline in Denver?
Understood, but I'm saying that you can't say that it's not cold in Denver. That's what I'm saying.
I'm not saying it's not.
Your argument, you said Pittsburgh was not colder than Green Bay. That's what you just said.
Honestly, this is me, my mindset going to a cold game. No matter where I'm at, it's going to be cold.
Okay.
It's cold if it's cold, if it's cold, it's cold. Of course, now looking at records, the record temperatures, traditionally, it's colder in Green Bay than it is in Pittsburgh. Not by much. It's cold. That's why you got that frozen tundra. And the deep in the playoffs, it does get colder in Green Bay than it does get in Pittsburgh. I'm not down that. But my mindset as a player is I'm gonna be cold regardless, no matter if I'm in Pittsburgh, if I'm in Cleveland, if I'm in Cincinnati, if I'm in Denver, it's gonna be cold. But the biggest advantage all those teams have is gonna be in Denver because of the elevation.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right. This weekend we got some great games. First of all, Kansas City starting to look like Kansas City again. Are they gonna be able to keep that going?
See, the dog even agree with me. The dog even agree with me. Like, hey man, you wrong,
Keep that
man.
going?
Feel
Yeah.
right, you wrong. Tell him, champ.
I
Tell
can give him
him,
another
champ,
snap.
bite him, champ,
Squad.
bite him.
Now let's see. Pittsburgh is floundering. Are they going to continue to flounder the rest of the season? Are they going to get back to 500 like they normally do?
Who is that?
Pittsburgh still is.
Hey man, it's real for real, for real. No, all jokes aside, I'm not a Mike Tomlin fan. It's time for Ben to hang it up, and it's time for Tomlin to go. Real talk.
I don't think it's time for Tomlin to go, but I agree that it's time for Ben to go. Ben is 1 year too late.
How?
Ben is one. Ben should have left. Ben should not have even started this season. They should have went ahead.
I think Ben. To be honest with you, I think when Ben seen Drew Brees hang it up, he didn't want to take. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes players, you respect the players.
Right. So let Drew go. Then I go.
Right. Let me see. Let me see if I got what I got left in the tank. Let me try it one more year. But I agree with you. When they lost the playoff game last year to Cleveland, I was like, yeah, Ben, it's time to go. Go on, sign them papers, man.
Yeah.
While you can still get up and get out of bed. Go on, sign them papers, man. This year, he's horrible. Like, this is the worst I ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
For real.
Father Time is undefeated. Johnny Watson, thank you for coming out. Thank you, Tish Taylor, for coming out. We are looking at our significant games this weekend. We got the Cowboys versus the Washington football team, Buccaneers and the Bills, Raiders and the Chiefs, Browns and Ravens. Can the Browns finally get over that Raven hump? They have yet to get over that Raven hump. No, you don't think so? That game is in Cleveland, I think, this week. And we got the Raiders and Chiefs. They are becoming a nice little rivalry. The Chiefs are still mad at the Raiders because they circled the wagon. Was it last year, year before that, when they drove around the building? Several Chiefs trying to be funny. So the Chiefs have not forgotten that. And the Buccaneers and Bills, two of the preeminent teams. Bills, I can't believe they lost that Monday night game. I did because I bet against them. But I can't believe they lost the way they did. The Patriots threw three passes. He was 2 for 3. And they ran the ball 42 times and lost 14. Was it 14-10? You couldn't beat that. That was ridiculous. So that lets you know that even though the Bills can put them points up, the defense is Swiss cheese. So we gonna and as we say, and we joke around, we're gonna pray for them. We're gonna pray for the Bills.
That's right.
Big Monday night game, Rams versus Cardinals. I will be watching that game. I will do everything I can to get home in time to see the most part of that game. That's probably the game I'm looking forward to most this weekend. You got Kyler Murray versus I don't even want to say his name.
Matt Stafford. You didn't want to say the name, or you couldn't remember the name.
A little bit of both. Will Matthew Stafford be the Matthew Stafford of old, or will he be Matthew Stafford of the Rams? Will he be the Lions Matthew Stafford, or will he be the Rams Matthew Stafford? That's the question of the day for that game. And Kyler Murray will always be Kyler Murray. He's the cheat code. He's the cheat code in Madden. If you want to take a player and put the cheat code on him, you want to get that's what you want to get. You want to get Kyler Murray. My thoughts on that game. I think even both teams play in the dome, so it's not like either one have a real advantage. I think there's more advantage in Arizona than it is in LA. LA, I think the Raiders, not the Raiders. I think when the Raiders played LA, of course they had advantage because Raiders fans are just crazy. whether they're in Oakland, Los Angeles, or in Vegas.
Right.
So my thoughts, I think the Rams are going to win that game. That would be my choice. Because you got to remember, we still talking about Matthew Stafford. I like Matthew Stafford as a player, but at some point, Matthew Stafford is going to be the Lions' Matthew Stafford. And I know they felt like he was an upgrade. I still think that was tampering for the Rams to go out and get him the way they did and brag about it. That they should have been a tampering investigation. But what do I know? I'm looking forward to seeing a good game. We move to our last segment of the day. Stupid sports news. We got a lot to talk about. Stupid sports news. All this coaching changes, the Heisman voting, people getting snubbed. Don't forget to click like, click share. Get on the phone. Let time we coming down to the best part of the night, of the morning. Excuse me. The stupid sports news. Let's talk about first Heisman voting. The Heisman, we got 3 quarterbacks, 1 defensive player. Stroud at OSU, Young at Bama, Pickett from Pitt, Hutchinson from Michigan. Which one of these players is not like the other? Which one of them is not the same? Why I asked that question from Sesame Street? Who should not have been on that list?
Hutchinson.
I agree. Who should have been on there instead?
Kenneth Walker.
Walker or Will Anderson?
Who?
Will Anderson.
Who is that?
Defensive tackle for Alabama, whose stats are double, almost triple that of Hutchinson. Now, I'll be
Man, see
honest.
what time my plane leave, man.
I'll be honest with you. Walker should have been on that list, but had they put Will Anderson on there above Walker, I wouldn't have been mad because this boy is the truth. You got watching him. When I'm watching their defense, I'm watching him for Alabama. Alabama has a good team, but I'm watching Anderson because that boy is disrupting from anywhere on the floor. They put him on rush him on the end, they rush him on the side, they put him in the middle, and no one stops him.
Okay, so the Heisman Trophy is off of games or is it off the season?
It's basically off probably the last couple games of the year when all the Heisman voters started watching.
Is the Heisman Trophy awarded for the season or per games?
It's awarded for the season, but the people the Heisman voters don't start watching until the last couple games.
So to negate what you just said, to dispute what you just said, before the Michigan State game, have you heard of Aiden Hutchinson?
Yes, because
No.
I'm serious. For me, yes. For a populace, probably not.
Okay.
Because we're Big Ten people. Because we're Michigan State. I keep on both teams. I try to make sure I know what I'm talking about when I watch the games. So when we come back here, so of course I know that Aiden Hutchinson's dad was Chris Hutchinson, former All-American, former sacks leader for Michigan. So of course I know that. Did he have a great game against Michigan State? Yes. Should he have gotten that forced fumble touchdown? Yes. Let's talk about his whole season. His whole season was great, but it wasn't as good or nowhere as good as Anderson. He played great against Ohio State. He played great against Michigan State. He played great against Iowa. Now, this is my point. Against Iowa, the announcer, a Michigan fan, all day long kept saying, "Oh, he's going to be in New York next week. He's going to be in New York next week." All those voters out there, take a look at this Aiden Hutchinson guy. So on the biggest platform, he did well, and he also had the platform from the announcer. I forget the guy's name. The one that he's popular now. He got himself in some trouble some years back when he said that the guy was he first came on the scene and he got in trouble because said that the guy was running like he was running from the police. I forget.
You talking about Gus Johnson?
Gus Johnson, yes. Gus.
Okay,
Gus,
so back to to dispute your point. You're saying that the Michigan State game, he had the defensive touchdown. The guy that beat you had 5 touchdowns and they beat you. Okay, the following week you lost to Purdue. Okay, the following week they beat Maryland. Okay, the following week they got trounced by Ohio State. Not to mention, he was hurt while he played.
Mm-hmm.
The following week, you beat Ohio State. You had 3 sacks or whatever. Okay, you win the Big Ten. You go to the Big Ten championship and you beat Iowa, which is nobody. Okay, they beat Penn State. Mind you, this kid still hurt from the previous 2 weeks.
Yep.
Not to mention, he beat you when you had a 16-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
How is he not sitting in New York?
I agree with you. That's me. That's a new point. He should be on the list. If anybody should not be on that list, maybe Pickett. Pickett had a good season over Pickett from Pittsburgh.
Who is that?
That's my point exactly. Only reason I know, because I keep it with Pittsburgh, because Narduzzi's there, our former defensive coordinator. So Pickett's a good quarterback. I'm not saying he's not. I don't think he had a better season over Kenneth Walker III. I think it should be Stroud, Young, Walker, and Anderson. That would have been my 4.
Okay, to that credit, you keep bringing the guy from Alabama. I ain't heard nothing he did neither.
He's an overall beast. He's a beast. Wait till let me go back.
He's a beast.
Alabama plays against Cincinnati. Wait till you see them playing against Cincinnati.
Okay, let me ask you this. You say he's a beast, right? Mm-hmm. You say he's a beast, right?
Yes.
So what is Hutchinson?
Hutchinson's a good. I'm not saying he's not a beast. I'm just saying.
No, that's what I'm saying. If the guy from Alabama is a beast, what is Hutchinson?
I'm not saying Hutchinson's not a beast. I'm just saying he did not have as a good a season.
So
as
if the guy from Alabama is a beast, 3rd time, what is Hutchinson?
Okay. I don't know the word to use as a step under him.
Are they equal?
A dog. He's a dog. How about that? He's a
pit bull dog.
No.
Are they equal? Okay.
No.
Okay. So if you had to award the Heisman, you would award the Heisman to the guy from Alabama before Hutchinson?
Yeah.
Then why is he there? Then why is the Hutchinson kid there?
Press.
That's my point. My point is, if you're saying the guy from Alabama is a beast, why Walker's not sitting there and Hutchinson is? Why would you have 2 defensive ends when you just said the Alabama kid is better? You took up space. You took up space.
I wouldn't have Hutchinson there at all. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so okay, we agree that. But my point, what I'm saying is, you're saying if the Heisman came down between them 2, he's not even in the close running with the guy from Alabama, correct?
No. Oh no.
That's my point. Then why is he there? Is he there? Are you saying he's there because Gus Johnson got him there?
Yes. Gus Johnson said the name Aiden Hudson about 1,000 times last Saturday night.
And I caught the end of the game too. He also said Jim Harbaugh. So that's why Jim Harbaugh won AP Coach of the Year? Because of Gus Johnson?
I wouldn't say that. I would actually say because of the fact that he finally won Big Ten 12-1. I think that what's his name would have won it had he won the Big Ten championship. I think Tucker would have won it.
How you get AP Coach of the Year to him when he lost to him?
Because
he 0-2 against him.
I agree. I agree with you. But in terms of the optics say you can't give a 10-2 coach of the year when you got
why can't you?
An 11-1 coach who actually won everything they set out to win. Even though he lost to that team. I agree with you. But the optics is not going to allow them to do that.
Hey man, I got to catch my flight.
All right. Hold that right there.
That makes no sense. Come on, that makes no sense
to me and you, but to the world at large, perception is reality, and that's how we got there. All right, we got a quick little promo right here for our Stupid Sports News. I think it's about a 30. All right. Thank you for that break, Mr. Holmes, in the background. We're going to move forward to our culture carousel. Now, if this ain't some craziness in terms of stupid sports, I don't know what it is. USC fires Clay Helton in the middle of the season. Say it again. I'm sorry.
See,
Say it
that's how
again.
it went out. The whole thing went out because it was like, yeah, you know what, Mr. Holmes, man, that's ludicrous.
Yeah.
It's not even a word. That's a Tyson word.
That's ludicrous. Is a word.
Okay,
Ludicrous
so
is definitely a word.
the call is for the top receiver in college football. Ohio State had the best 3 receivers. Yeah, one of them got up for the move. How is that possible?
I don't know. I agree with you. Sometimes they do some dumb stuff. Because
Hey, man, they caught me. I'm not playing right now.
Kenneth Walker got the Doak Walk and the Cam Walker Cam. Anderson got the Bronco Nagurski. So that's for the college. That's for the best running back in the year and the college player of the year. The college player of the year is not even up for the Heisman. So to me, that makes no sense. We want to thank Deborah K. Harmon for coming out. We getting towards the end part of our show. We want to make sure we quickly go through this here. Coaching carousel. Clay Helton fired in the middle of the season. Boom. Lincoln Riley, I think, is a great fit at USC. I think that's going to return some of the glory that USC wants to return to back out there. Wide open West Coast offense, returning to the West Coast. TCU, Gary Patterson out. Sonny Dykes comes from SMU because he beat them at SMU on across town from downtown Dallas to midtown Fort Worth. And Florida, Dan Mullen out, Billy Napier out. Dan Mullen, I was never really sold to him in terms of the expectations at Florida. Billy Napier, I have no idea who he is. So we probably gonna see the same thing from him in about 3 years. Oklahoma, I think this is the most intriguing of all of the coaching changes. Lincoln Riley leaves, so be mad at him. They bring in Brent Venables.
You know what? I can hear
Can you hear me now? Is that better? Because I know we got a little bit of static on probably come from your side. I'm talking about Oklahoma, Lincoln Riley leaving and Brent Venables coming in for a program like Oklahoma to bring in Brent Venables. To me, that was. I know they say he's a defensive guy, but Oklahoma, right now they're built for offense. So I hope they were able to return. I don't think they were able to retain their offensive coordinator. I think he went with Lincoln Riley. Now, this one I really want to discuss. Brian Kelly leaving Notre Dame. And Marcus Freeman staying.
That was a dumb move. You got
Brian Kelly leaving? I agree with you. I don't think Brian Kelly is a fit at all. Nowhere near in LSU. He's gonna go down there, and them kids gonna say immediately, we don't like this guy. This is some bull. The transfer portal gonna open up so big and wide in LSU within the next 2 years. It's gonna be ridiculous.
He'll be out of the job by 2024. Okay, today's topic with kind of all these coaches leaving. The topic is that it's karma. They're just gonna all bite each last one of them with karma. Case in point, Manny Diaz. 3 days before you were supposed to take the Temple job, you bagged out and went to Miami. Look at you now. Now you're unemployed. Same thing with Brian. You left the perfect situation to go somewhere where you're gonna have to play Uncle Nick. You're gonna have to play Kirby Smart. You're gonna have to play whoever they get at Florida. You're gonna have to play Texas A&M. That was dumb. When you was you didn't even have a conference. You were independent. You could play who you wanted to play. But I think what it was, I think it ran its course in South Bend. I think they got tired of Brian Kelly. Because think about it. He did have a good track record. He came from Cincinnati. He did take them to the playoffs twice, but every time he took them to the playoffs, they got ran. They got ran off the field. You know, he's doing that down in Notre Dame. That's a rich fan base. That's a rich alumni base. Look at all the alumni. You got Joe Montana. You got my man from Kelly and Company. I can't think of his name. The old host of Kelly and Company.
You got the receiver.
Not a figure.
The receiver that
right,
made the Hall of Fame.
Got a figure. They weren't going to keep putting up with that. Notre Dame is known for national prominence, power. power, all that.
Now,
No, when
was
Lou
Lisa
Holtz
Love?
was there and all that. So you made the wrong choice. Lincoln Riley, he gonna feel it. They don't. USC ain't gonna play, man. They gonna give you maybe a year to 2 tops to turn that around. You're not about to turn that around because over there, think about it. UCLA really ain't no bother. Cal not no bother. Your biggest foe gonna be Utah and Oregon, depending on who Oregon hires. But on the same token, nah, you should have stayed in Oklahoma. All that's gonna be calm.
Oregon does not have a team yet. We have coach yet. Mario Cristobal, he's down in Miami. My biggest thing about Notre Dame, I'm afraid for Notre Dame. I think they did the right thing in keeping Marcus Freeman, but I don't see him being a long-term fit. When I saw them having the press conference and all the players running up to and congratulating Freeman like that, to me, when you see stuff like that, when the players really love you like that, that normally doesn't translate into wins. It translates a little bit, but when at the end of the day, when you a guy like that, you got to come in and be like, hey, this is the deal. Hey, it's hard for them to translate them liking you like that into victories.
Okay, so you saying that's because it's Notre Dame?
Anytime, I'm not saying just Notre Dame. Anytime you see a coach that's beloved like that, that normally doesn't translate into wins. Beloved
Okay,
coach
so
don't translate into wins.
I'm out. When Lou Fickle was at Ohio State, they went undefeated. He left and went to Cincinnati. They're undefeated.
I don't see Luke Fickle as a beloved coach. I see Luke Fickle as a tough disciplinarian who has high expectations.
But you just said usually they don't translate to wins. So they didn't love it. They didn't like him at Ohio State when he went undefeated.
I'm not familiar with that situation as much.
You don't remember that situation?
I remember Fickle being there.
You don't remember them going undefeated?
I remember that. That was the year they was on. That was the year they were on probation, so they couldn't go.
Right, they went undefeated. Right, they went
but I'm
undefeated.
saying I'm not as familiar with them going. Knocking them that much I can't speak to. We are running low on time today. We want to thank everybody for coming out. I want to make sure I acknowledge everybody today. Let's see here. I did get everybody up. Acknowledge everybody. Please join Sports Talk and Love and Stuff and giving to families in need this season by purchasing a gift box at www.hr-guide.myshopify.com. We are putting it in the comments on the page. So please go there and support. This goes to help our needy families. Thank you guys. Thank you for putting that up, Mr. Marcus Holmes. Thank you, Mr. Felix, for such a, as always, upbeat and poignant show. And we want to thank the internet gremlins who always trying to steal our joy, whether it be me not being here in the beginning, or see me in the beginning, or the stacker that come through. But we coming through anyway. We shall see you
man,
all.
you made me miss my flight, man. I'm stuck here.
That's the weather.
Stuck here, man. I missed my flight. Messing with you, man.
That's that de-icing.
Man, I missed my flight messing with you, man.
All right. If you're on Delta, we're going to make sure we get you reconnected. We take care of that. All righty. See you in 2 weeks. We'll be back on Christmas. And we're going to talk a lot of college basketball, a lot of NBA basketball. And just thank you for your support. We do appreciate it. Go out, be safe, give somebody a hug. Give somebody a hug. They tell them that you love them. And it's a great day for sports. A lot of college basketball today. And remember, that first bowl game is in 6 days. We got the Cure Bowl. I almost forgot. We got to make our prediction. Who's going to win the Heisman?
Quarterback from Alabama. I already talked to him.
So you got Young at Alabama, Stroud at OSU, Pickett, and Hutchinson. I'm gonna say the dark horse is Hutchinson. Probably won't win. Had Pickett played a lot better in the Ohio State Michigan State game, he would have won it. But probably Young from Alabama. That's probably what's going to happen. Probably going to see Young take it home, and That's going to be. I used to like really watching that game, but that game, not the game. I'm sorry, watching the Heisman Trophy ceremony. But they stretch it out so long. They have all kind of commercials and video tributes and all that kind of stuff. I like watching it in the past, but I always want to just send them a note and say, "Hey, speed it up!" Like on Dave Chappelle, the hurry up machine. They need to have one of them at the Heisman
Yeah.
Trophy. Because all you really need to do is come on and say, okay, is we're gonna have we gonna break in at the end of the show, at the end of like Sports Center or a basketball game, a halftime show, or they can even do it at the halftime of one of the bowl games and just
Right.
announce the trophy or one of the lower bowl games because it don't take all that. It don't take 2 hours to give a trophy away for 5 minutes and let them give a speech and then go
No.
on from there. And I know they try to make their money, Dr. Pepper and all that, and what is it? The people that with the cars and all that stuff. I get it, but it's unnecessary. Uh, I think we are ready at this point to get out of here. Thank you everyone for tuning in. See you back in 2 weeks. So when you open up your presents and you get Santa Claus to give us cookies, come on in and see me. We're gonna have another good show. Thank you. Be safe. And we love you.
If I get books this time, it's over.
You got some books? I'm gonna buy some books.
If I get books for Christmas this time, it's over.
I'm actually
Nobody
gonna buy some
gonna
books
get
at
that.